Lamar stated his views on police brutality with that line in the song, quote, "And we hate the po-po, want to kill us in the street, faux show."
Please. I don't like it. I got loyalty inside my DNA.
What I think police brutality is when a law enforcement member uses his power to do something wrong to the people.
Police brutality is about police officers using their status to abuse citizens by intimidating them and using excessive amounts of force to influence situations and have the outcome be in their favor. I think it's a problem that happens a lot more often than people would think.
What police brutality means to me is an unfair advantage that authorities have over people that don't have that authority, and that usually police brutality is unearned and something, for example, like somebody's just trying to just go to the grocery store and get something, and they come, and just because, maybe even because of the race, maybe because of what they're wearing, they're unfairly beaten and even killed.
I think police brutality is when police kind of use their power in a very unethical way and to use with a lot of violence and a lot of force that isn't necessary.
I personally think that it's wrong, and it bothers me to know that we've come so far and everything else, yet this is a problem that still goes on.
What I feel about it is, I guess it's pretty wrong. I mean, we're supposed to look at these people to protect us. When we're in danger, we run to them for them to protect us. So I guess police brutality loses our confidence in them. So it's not something good.
That it's unfair. That it's not something that is justifiable. But in that, I think when it comes down to it, you have to really look at the facts. You really have to look, okay, what was happening in this situation? Was it justified to even be called police brutality? And I think a majority of the time, it usually isn't. Usually there's this angle that we don't know about, but a lot of the times, like in terms of different cases, Eric Gardner case, which is very cut and dry, simple, like he was just minding his own business and he was choked to death. That is simple, and I think that is by the facts. But then you have other ones that are a lot more cloudy, we really don't know about, and we really need to find the facts.
I don't think that our local governments, state governments, or federal governments are doing enough to stop police brutality and to prevent police brutality from happening.
Robert Davis, a retired elementary school teacher from New Orleans, was arrested and brutally beaten by police on suspicion of public intoxication. On the night of October 9, 2005, just a little over a month after Hurricane Katrina, Davis returned to New Orleans to check on his family's property and went to the French Quarter to buy cigarettes. There he was attacked by 4 police officers who said he was belligerent and resisted arrest by not allowing them to handcuff him. The beatings were videotaped by an Associated Press producer, who was also assaulted that night. The officers were either fired or suspended for their involvement, but many of the charges against them have been cleared. In 1991, a videotape circulated around the world of Rodney King being beaten by LAPD officers after they put an end to the 8-mile high-speed chase. Once surrounded, King and his 2 friends were ordered to step out of the vehicle and lie face down on the ground. King refused to comply but eventually got out of the car and resisted an arrest. Once King got physical with some of the officers, they shot him with a taser gun to knock him to the ground. He was then beaten multiple times with a baton and kicked repeatedly. The video was a media sensation. It became one of the biggest police brutality cases in history. After the state trial, 3 of the 4 LAPD officers were acquitted, and the jury didn't reach a verdict for the 4th. The acquittal sparked the 1992 Los Angeles riots, eventually led to a federal trial where 2 officers were found guilty and the 2 other ones were acquitted. The fatal shooting of Oscar Grant by BART police officers in Oakland, California, in the early morning hours of New Year's Day 2009 is one of the most excessive examples of police force ever. Responding to reports of a fight on a crowded Bay Area rapid transit train returning from San Francisco, BART police officers detained Oscar Grant and several other passengers on the platform at the BART station. An officer drew his gun and shot Grant once in the back after claiming that he was resisting arrest. Grant was unarmed. He later died, sparking a fury of protests and a trial.
There is no way to really measure how often police brutality happens. Police departments vary state to state. There might be more police brutality reported in other areas. A good way to approach the situation at hand should always be in a calmly manner, although this might not be the case in some situations. Being educated on the topic could increase the chances of diffusing a police brutality situation. What are the policies and procedures of an arrest? What is the crime rate in your city? What is the arrest rate in your city? How many cases have been solved? Could be some questions that you might want to research for future reference.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this and sworn like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which shouts you a new weapon.